Yes, Training.com. I'm going to beat the dead horse. Still continue to talk about that you don't need your traditional gym lifts to function in the real world, okay? You can do a lot of other things and get just as fucking strong. If your idea is just to get strong and the bench press, then I guess you're going to have to fucking bench press. If that's going to be the first question when you walk up to a dude and go, hey dude, how much you bench? Yeah, you want to be one of them guys, go for it. While you're scrolling through your Instagram fucking shirtless Instagram male model fucking photos. But hey, that's you, man. You got to do you. Okay? Like I said, I got the experience both in and out and together. Most people don't have that experience and they don't have the longevity that I have in the experience. I've said it before, I've missed one day of work in 25 years. I can tell you right now, I won't allow anybody to outwork me. Okay? And I can tell you right now, if anybody notices anything or I've ever had any imbalances and I've lacked mobility, it has nothing to ever fucking do with my manual jobs. It was always to do with the gym because my fucking shoulders, my scapulas were all fucking destroyed. And a lot of it had to do with me because I didn't continue the mobility that I probably should have. But I know that people that have worked in blue collar, aside from their backs being fucked up sometimes, is because they have a weak core. That's one of the reasons. Number two, I told you, they eat like shit, and they don't fucking do anything else to fucking maintain a body. So, other than that, every farmer I know, every fucking dock worker, every roofer, everybody I know can put their fucking hands all the way overhead, can reach their arms over their head. I struggle to do that, okay? And I can tell you right now, the only fucking people I know that have trouble with their elbows and their shoulders and shit like that on a regular basis and fucking pulling pec muscles are people that work out in the gym. But anyhow, because I don't know what I'm talking about, I got some books here and I'll read some parts to it and then you can research the guys. Okay, I got two books here. One's Wild Strength, the Ancient Strength Training Plan for the Modern World by Ken Best. Now, he's been a strength writer for fucking ever. Okay, you can check him out. You don't believe me. Okay, he writes a lot of good stuff in this book. The strength training industry is heavily influenced by the mainstream muscle media, major gym franchises, supplement companies, the entertainment industry, and sporting organizations. You are bombarded with messages to go to the latest trendy gym or buy the latest fitness craze to achieve your dream body. Once you fork out thousands of hard-earned dollars and strap yourself into the latest gym equipment, you're home free. I'm here to tell you, sorry, you've been conned. You're better off going into your backyard and lifting the closest heavy stone. By introducing you to the Wild Strength program, I want to remind you so-called new trends in the fitness industry are not new at all, and they certainly aren't better. We need to return to basics. We need to bring back the natural methods of strength and conditioning, training so we can be stronger, faster, and fitter human beings. When these methods are incorporated into your routine with equally emphasis, your strength, muscularity, endurance, and health will skyrocket to levels you probably never experienced. If you're only using one or at most two of these modes at the moment, like I was, you're limiting your potential by not including others. Ancient and modern hunter-gatherers use all five methods in some form of a regular training basis, and you should too. Okay, and then it goes to mode 5 in here, manual labor. Hunter-gatherers perform manual tasks of every conceivable kind. Hunting is the ultimate form of manual labor because their survival depends on it. Gathering is another major manual task they do to ensure their continued existence, particularly when game animals are scarce and hunting is less successful. In addition, these activities, hunter-gatherers labor away every day on other tasks to keep their healthy fitness and strength levels high. What you need to know and apply is the fact that manual labor in all its forms builds a unique kind of strength in anyone willing to be able to do them. Men and women who labor daily at physical demanding chores build a level of toughness rarely seen today in other professions and surprisingly are considerably stronger and fitter than their office working counterparts. I believe manual labor tasks build what they call special strength because they emphasize resistance, the transverse plane, the rotational torque acting on muscular systems around the spine and shoulder hip joints during the performance of manual labors is a type of force that is missing from most conventional gym programs. Missing. Just as odd objects build movement strength more than one plane. So do manual labor exercises, and this was the secret to their success. Simulating manual labor tasks in your fitness program isn't easy, but can be done. Activities such as wood chopping, sledgehammering, loading, and digging can be done almost anywhere, and with a bit of imagination, viable substitute can be used in a pinch. It's cheap because you don't need any special equipment or space, and the equipment you do need is so heavy that the only local behemoth can use it. Yeah, that made no sense. Okay, I'm going to focus on 5 exercises to simulate manual tasks. These exercises target the whole body, but throw a lot of stress on one of the 3 major muscle groups. There are no particular order: sledgehammer, swinging, digging, throwing, all manner of heavy things, loading, and wood chopping. Manual labor activities typically involve many sets of high repetitions with moderately light weights to develop strength endurance. Lifting odd objects is an activity in brute strength. The weight of the implements can be loaded to suit the lifter, but the emphasis is on lifting as heavy as a weight as possible for short bursts of power. Hope that made sense. And now I got another one here, and you can check it out. Dinosaur Training, Brooks Kubiak. Been writing books for a fucking long time. Talks a lot about all kinds of lifting in here, including bench press and all that stuff. But everybody talks about how manual labor people aren't strong and all these things. Okay? After you have convinced yourself that it is physically impossible to lift a 200-pound bag of sand overhead, read the following account from Earl Lederman's classic text, Secrets of Strength, published in 1925. Okay? Power is not exclusive prerogative of big men. No man proved that more conclusively than the veteran athlete John Y. Smith of Boston. Smith never weighed more than 168 pounds, yet he could do anything in the line of strength and power, which could be accomplished by the natural giants. Although a dumbbell lifter by preference, he was one of those men who could lift and carry anything, emphasized anything. It is told that once he passed some porters who were loading a truck with 200-pound bags of cement. Okay, now think about that for a minute. People struggle with 50-pound bags of cement. Back in the old days, where I continue to tell you that men were stronger, these fucking men were lifting 200 pounds of fucking bag. 200 pounds all day long. That's fucking incredible. Tell me you're not going to build fucking strength. Tell me, I wonder how much those guys were bench pressing. I wonder how much squatting they were doing other than picking the fucking bags up. Anyhow, Smith stopped and joked the men about fuss they made over handling little bags like those. Whereupon the men grew indignant and informed him that it takes a man to handle these heavy bags, and invited him to take off his coat and see for himself easy as he thought it was. Without taking off his coat, Smith seized one of the bags, swung it to his shoulder, and then slowly pushed it to arm's length overhead. Having this surprise the others, then he proceeded to amaze them by taking the bags 2 at a time, 1 in each hand, and throwing them into the truck. How did 168-pound Smith manage these amazing feats? I believe it is because he trained his entire life with heavy cast iron dumbbells, barrels, kegs, sandbag, bags of grain, and other equally awkward, unwielding objects. Okay? All right. Where's my other one? I got another one here somewhere. Oh, here it is. Manthropology. You can look at that one up too if you want. That's a pretty good one. A lot of good shit in there. There is an article in here. Let me find it. Talking about men in the past, strong men. There is now an official event. No, that's not it. Importantly, many 19th century strongmen worked in tough physical occupations before they became professional performers. John Marks, the Lumbucks, I don't know. I guess it's a German word. Lumbucks, Hercules, famous for his 3,968-pound harness lift, in which weights were lifted by straps from the shoulders. He worked as a blacksmith from an early age and hefted full beer kegs throughout his teen years as a brewer's assistant. Martin Farmer Burns, a light heavyweight, 187 pounds wrestler who lost only 7 of his 6,000 wrestling matches in the late 19th century, and who often hung himself from a 7-foot drop to demonstrate his tremendous neck strength, passed his growing childhood in Midwestern lumber camps. The upbringing of all 3 men clearly formed the finishing school for their later phenomenal feats of strength. I mean, there's so many stories of it, and just more to throw at people out there. Believe what you want. You can't change your belief if you don't want to change. You can't try. You don't want to try other things. As long as you want to follow the masses, go and do that. I don't care. I can keep bringing the proof. Keep bringing it later.